I actually make a living as a writer, but I'm also a student of writing. I'm always trying to get better. And one thing I've always wanted to see is video of a writer actually working. It's something you really can't find. So I thought I would embarrass myself for your benefit and show time-lapse video of me working on an essay, a 1,000-word essay about how to write. What you're seeing here is about 30 times normal speed. It took me 150 minutes or so to write this, and you're going to see it in 5 minutes. Now you'll notice at the bottom there's a list of ideas, a little outline. That outline came from my notebook. And one trick I have, or one habit that I have, that ends up working like a trick, is I keep a notebook with me all the time. I keep it with me when I go to meetings. I keep it with me when I'm out with friends. If I go out drinking and I'm having some fun at a party or something, I keep it with me. And I just write down, I have the habit of just writing down ideas that I hear, or that I think of, or that come to me. And I don't think too much about it. And then later when I have a writing assignment, or I'm trying to write a book, or an essay, or a chapter, or a short story, or something, I just take out the notebook and I flip through. And invariably I find stuff, a lot of the stuff in there isn't very good, but invariably I find stuff that is good or is useful, and I'll take a little outline and I'll put it in the paper, so I never have to deal with a blank page. Now you'll notice that that little list fell off the page, and then now it's back. And what happened there is this was actually a good day. I put the list in, I started going, and quickly I had a few hundred words, and that's enough to kick around. Oh, actually right here, I'm trying to find a synonym for the word grenade, which I couldn't find, actually. Some words there's just no good replacements for. Anyway, I take that list, when I have enough material, if the list has fallen off the page, I'll put it back at the top to remind myself that I need some structure. What makes good writing good is the flow between sentences, the flow between points and ideas. So I want to remind myself that I should be thinking about that. Now here I'm doing a little trick. It's a very common style these days on blog posts and in books to put everything with a heading on it. I think that's a crutch, so I don't like to do it, but sometimes while I'm working, I'll put those headings in place. Same thing with bulleted lists too. It's kind of a trick. But I'll put those headings in place until I get a structure that I like and the flow between ideas seems good, and then I'll rip them out. The goal being to have segues in the writing itself that make it comfortable or natural for people to move between ideas, so I don't need the scaffolding of these headings for everything. Now something that's hard to see in this video is how much time is spent just sitting and thinking. And what's going to happen in a second is it's going to switch to real time. It's going to go from 30 times normal speed to normal speed. And normal speed reveals how much time is spent just sitting and thinking, which is a lot of what writing actually is. Now some people are terrified of writer's block or being stuck. And I've learned that the moments when I'm stuck, of which there are many, the video doesn't show them, but there are lots and lots of moments here where I stop and I'm thinking. That's what makes writing good or bad. Those moments, the whole idea of writing is pretty challenging. I'm trying to take something in my head and think about it and then express it through the medium of words, and to try to do it well enough so that when someone comes along and reads it, someone I don't know, that I've never met, they can get all that, the same thing in my head, they can get it in theirs. Or maybe even something better. To do that requires a lot of thought. I have to be very careful about the points I make, or how I make them, or the stories I tell, the sequence of points. And so when I'm stuck, it usually means that there's something I don't fully believe about what I'm saying, or that the flow of ideas isn't that good yet. And so when I'm stuck, I'm like, okay, now the writing is beginning, because now I have enough material there that I have something to think about. And the solution usually is, the habit that I have is to go back to the beginning of the document, or the essay, or the story, or whatever, and start reading. I'll start reading, and I'll edit as I go, but I'm not worried too much about grammar or details, but I'll change the ideas, I'll change the sequence of things, I may come up with a better story to tell, or a better point to make, and I'll change it. But I'm working through. And then by the time I work through the document, or the essay, and get back to where I was stuck, invariably the trajectory of the ideas have changed, and I move right past it. And I keep working and reworking until it's done. Now, if you actually want to see the final result, and discover for yourself if it was the actual essay is as interesting as watching me make it, just go to scottburkin.com/blog and you'll find it there.